Hey friends. All right. Let's see who's hanging out today. Good morning. Hello, hello. Who's here? Say hello, please. All right. So, today we are going to be adding a stamped image to our scrapbook page. And a lot of people ask, what are different ways that we can use your images and all stuff like that. So I figured it would be a fun thing to use one of our images in a scrapbook page to kind of show you what's going on. So I just got this scrapbook kit from Photoplay, and it's called A Year with My Nomies. And so I thought that it would be super duper cute to add one of our images to each one of these and then give this as a Christmas gift, just like a calendar for somebody to hang on their wall. We every year give somebody a calendar, or I every year give somebody a calendar, just because I feel like it's a really good gift and they think of you all year long. So this also has the Solids Plus, and it has 12 sheets of paper, and one of them, they're all double-sided. So you get one of each of these colors at the bottom, which I think is really cool. And it all matches the Year with My Nomies color schemes in all of these. So look up Photoplay, they are awesome. The stamp set I've chose to use today is the Rudolph stamp set, and I'm gonna stamp this little moose, or I have already stamped this little moose and his Christmas lights. Now I know Christmas is over by January, but I'm gonna make the little lights match the color scheme in the paper. So I thought it would be cute to go ahead and match the lights like he's on a Christmas hangover or something. So again, this stamp is called Rudolph, and it's by Ledoux Designs. So there we go. I've simply stamped him with Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto Sweet Sentiment cardstock. And so we're going to be coloring him up. I have a bag of pre-tied bows. I like to take spools of ribbon, and in my off time, I like to sit on the couch when we're watching TV or whatever, and then just tie bows. So this is some sage ribbon. I think this is actually Stampin' Up! Ribbon, but it has like sage green and white, and I thought it just kind of went with this. So I may or may not use those, but I like to have things handy. I've taken the 2 pieces of paper, actually 3 pieces of paper, that go with this January layout. So what I've done is the papers are double-sided, as you can see, and so this was part of this piece of paper, and it has the little January month. So I cut that out, and then this is a piece of Stampin' Up! Brown cardstock. I thought it matched the tree trunks fairly well, so that's why I used that. So I just cut a matting for that. Same with this. This was on the opposite side of this piece of paper. And I thought these little banners were cute, so I used those. Notice I've cut matting for everything. I'm just one of those people. And then this was the opposite side of that. And so I cut a mat for that. Now the only piece I didn't cut a mat for was this one, because I want it to sit in the background. So I've just cut it to 6 by 8. or I mean, sorry, 6 by 12, and then I cut 1/8 of an inch off of it so that it would sit there. And then this is the solids piece of paper that came from that. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this together because I know what I want my layout to look like. So I'm gonna use my Barely Art glue. And I've laid this out several different ways and several different times. And I'll probably still change it some, but hey, that's just how I roll. So I know that I want this one to be down here at the bottom, so we're definitely gonna start with that. The Barely Art glue gives you a couple of seconds before it adheres, and then I use my espresso to just make sure I have full adhesion of the glue. Okay, so that one's all glued down. I'm gonna set it aside so I have work area here. And again, I like to use lots of glue. I'm just one of those people. Make sure my border is all even. I generally will turn this over and do this from the back so that I don't move the paper around. Perfect. I set that over there. On to the next one. Well, hi, Cheryl. How are you this morning? Or wait, this afternoon. I think it's afternoon for you. Again, I'm gonna pick it up. I have a couple of seconds. Make sure that glue adheres. And I'm gonna keep going with all of my pieces. We are making a planner, well, not a planner, a calendar page layout for a scrapbook using one of our stamps and this cool set from Photoplay that is called A Year with My Nomies. So I'm just gluing down the pieces. I kind of pre-cut everything out. Because I'm really not a scrapbooker. I never like super got into it. Like I tried. I made a couple of scrapbooks, but it just never stuck for me. But every year I like to give somebody a calendar, for Christmas. And so this year, I figured instead of I know you're doing a scrapbook for your new grandbaby. Are you so excited? This year, instead of buying a calendar, I'm gonna make one. And it's all because I bought this paper pack from Photoplay. And I'll show it to you again in just a second. Okay, so that's all adhered. So the paper pack is called A Year with My Nomies, and it's from Photoplay paper. And I also got the solids pack that goes with it. And so I'm making that. So now we're gonna color our sweet little moose by Sandy. So I'm gonna set all of this aside. It's really dry in here right now, so I'm gonna put my pin in my glue so that it doesn't clog up on me. And we're gonna zoom in so we can color this cute little moose. All right. So since I'm coloring him with his lights and I want his lights to match the paper, I'm gonna kind of set my paper over here so I have an idea of what colors I'm using. And then I'm gonna grab my marker stand, my color blend stand. Yay, you have this image. Good, good. So I'm gonna start with, I like to start with his antlers. I don't know why it's a thing for me. So, and his antlers, I generally always do the same color blend. So we're gonna start with the E55. And I'm gonna shadow in side of his antler just a little bit, like where they crease together. Just for some extra movement. I mean, there's really no real rhyme or reason for it. The neighbors are out, so it snowed last night. And the neighbors are out on their four-wheeler plowing their driveway. So you're gonna hear Archie growling. Archie is not a fan of the snow. Some dogs like to go out and play in the snow. Archie is not one of those guys. Okay, and as I'm doing his antlers, I'm also gonna do this front part of his muzzle. I'm gonna have them be the same color. I know theoretically they're not the same color, but this is art, so we have some artistic liberties we can take. And it cracks me up every time I color this stamp. I don't know if you guys see it, but I definitely see it. That if I were to cover this up, look at this smiley face. It's so funny. It's the perfect little smiley face. So every time I see that, I see a little smiley face there. Welcome to the mind of Jamie. Hey, hey, hey. Now you can't unsee it, right, Joy? If I go like this, see that little smiley face? Right here, there's his eyes and his mouth. You're welcome. So I woke up this morning and I started like sneezing like crazy and my throat's super gravelly and I'm just not doing well today. So I think after this live, I'm gonna go back to bed. But it's been so long since I've done a live, I couldn't like skip out on it. Right? It's forever. Forever burned in your brain. I was doing some like design team maintenance stuff and getting ready for next year. When you own a business, December is always so busy with forecasting the following year and year-end closeout stuff and I don't know, just so many things. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but I did put in our Facebook group the first 3 people that order. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to go deal with that too. Some NyQuil and some DayQuil and some all the things. The first 3 people that order will get a free gift in their package from me. I have some really good prizes that are like left hear from like retreats or things that people, other businesses or companies have donated, or stuff that I have made, things that we've collected throughout the year, just stuff like that. So keep your eye open for some really random customer appreciation things like that. So today is the first 3 people that order will get a surprise. Okay. Now we're gonna do the little moose, and I'm literally gonna walk down a color line, so that should tell you exactly how I'm feeling today. Okay, so I'm gonna use the E20s. I'm all out of honey because I used it all for Evan's sore throat, and now I'm without honey. Now, I feel like there's a lot going on with all of these papers, so I'm gonna smooth color him, which I generally do not do. You guys know I'm usually always adding fur or texture, but there's already a lot going on this page, so I really just want to be as simple as possible. So that I have to pay 30. I thought I paid for the shipping when I placed my order. Oh my gosh. Cheryl, send me a DM with the information from that. That's not okay. That is not okay. We are not going to let that happen to you. It could be I clicked something indirectly or improperly. Or something. So please send me the information from that so I can look into it. It'll be a great thing for me to research while I'm laying in bed. Keep my mind occupied. Because I'm telling you, I am wiped out for sure. This is hitting me really hard. I do not want to be sick for Christmas. Let me tell you that. Hi, Elizabeth. This is Rudolph's cousin, the moose. Yeah, Cheryl, something went wrong there. You shouldn't be having to pay that. You paid shipping already, and that shipping was paid to UPS. And there's some error somewhere, somehow. So that is not up to you to pay. I know, this little guy's so darn cute. I know, I'm gonna be resting for sure. I'm addicted to my Disney Dreamlight Village thing on my Nintendo Switch. And they just released an update where you can get Stitch as a buddy. So you have to go and do all of these quests and stuff in order to earn Stitch. So I have stuff to do. I also got my new planner in the mail. So I will be playing with my new planner. And oh my gosh, Joy, did you get all of your stickers from Miss Moss? Good Lord, they're cute. So I got all my stickers, so I have lots of things that I can fill out in my planner. And then I'm working on a couple of crochet projects. So I definitely have things that I can like lay down and rest and still be occupied. I also have stamp sets that I can lay out for next year. And you know me, I'm an avid reader, so I have lots of books I have 2 books that I'm in the middle of, so if all else fails, I'll be reading. So I was supposed to put my Miss Moss stickers in my stocking because they're supposed to be a quote-unquote Santa gift. And they were in my stocking until the Erin Condren planner arrived. And then they were no longer in my stocking. I don't like this part. I washed it out too much. So we're gonna try it again. There we go. Much better. Okay, I feel like this little guy should have some blue eyes. He's gonna be Mickey Blue Eyes. So I'm gonna use B14. That's super cute. Okay, now we're gonna do his hooves. W10, W8, W6. Y'all are being awfully quiet today. Are you guys all ready for Christmas? Have you finished all of your Christmas shopping? I have to get something for my parents, but I know what we're getting, so it's easy. And then I have to grab something real quick for the neighbor. And again, I already know what I'm getting her, so it's very easy. Shopping online. You have until like the 14th, and then the standard shipping cutoff becomes a thing. So get all of your shopping done by the 14th to have it guaranteed. Oh, I almost forgot this hoof over here. Yes, you better get going. Because after the 14th, then you have to pay extra for the priority shipping or whatever it is. Okay, now I have to do his little tuft of hair. And I kind of want it to be like white-ish. So I'm gonna do like some super light browns. So I'm gonna swatch these out just a little bit. So that's my E3 one. This is my E4 one, much lighter. And then this is my E8 one. So I want to go in the middle with it like that. Okay. And this is, I am going to put a little bit of texture here. Wow. I don't have a massage therapist, so that would be a great problem I'd like to have. I would think a like planner or appointment book would be a great thing for a massage therapist to have. So like some nice pens and a planner, I think would be great off the top of my head. Okay, so I'm gonna set these markers aside. I'll add them to the description when I upload this video. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my white gel pen. I'm gonna add little dots to his eyes because I think that's cute. I'm gonna use the artist drawn lines here to add highlights. And then I'm just gonna add a couple of hairs in his little chest area here for texture. Okay. I was also going to add highlights to his hooves. And I colored outside the line on his hoof. So I'm going to push that back in. Might take a couple of times because it's black, so it's gonna bleed out. Okay, so then I have these, and again I want to use the colors that are in here. So I'm going to use a pink, and I'm just going to randomly scatter them. Really no rhyme or reason on them. I'm going to use the same blue I used for his eyes. I'm going to grab a teal color, so I'm thinking BG13. I want to be somewhere in between the dark and the light of the paper. So I feel like that's a good teal. And then this super duper pale pink, I think I want to bring in. So maybe RVO2? Yeah, that's a good color. All right, now I'm gonna take my white gel pen. Thank you, I'm glad. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. And I'm just gonna add little highlights to these lights. Now, this comes with a die, but obviously when you do this and you stamp them together, that die is not going to work. So I'm gonna be fussy cutting this bad boy out. Y'all ready for that? So here we go. Grab your fussy cutting scissors and let's go to town. So one of the things I'm going to tell you about fussy cutting is you want to get rid of a bunch of this excess paper first. So I do a rough cut. And I cut him out just like that. Okay? The second thing is you want to get into these tight places first. So, with that being said, the reason you want to do that is because you have the structure of the rest of this to hold on to that. So, if you try to do these places last, you're going to bend all of this stuff. So do them first. So I'm going to start down here. And hopefully I'm on the screen. Notice I never used the tips of my scissors. Well, I won't say never, but when you use the tips of your scissors, it actually damages your paper. Because it pinches it. So you want to stay away from doing that. This is me concentrating. You probably hear the fan in the background. That's my heater because my whole craft room wall is windows and there's a lot of snow on the ground outside and it's very windy today. And when the wind comes off of those mountains, we have what's called the Owyhee Mountains around us. When the wind comes off of those mountains, oh my goodness, it is so cold. So try to support this little piece that you're cutting as you're cutting it. Like I'm holding on to the lights. I'm not just letting it like flop around. Also, when I'm not feeling well and I'm like in bed and sitting there, I will fussy cut a whole bunch of stuff, even if I have dies for it. So like I have a bunch of our new release stuff coming up that I've colored like for the packages and things. And I don't have the dies for those yet. But I will sit and fussy cut all of them out. It's something that I like to do. I might just grab my blankie and curl up on the couch next to the fireplace and fussy cut things. And find out why they're trying to charge Cheryl so much more for shipping all of a sudden. Because that makes me angry. I feel like they shouldn't be able to do that. Like, if they charge you a certain amount for shipping, then that's their fault. They shouldn't be able to, like, go back on that. Like, I paid what you told me to pay. So, sorry. You should have charged me more from the beginning. That's your fault. Am I wrong in that belief? Sandy makes me fussy cut all of her stuff too if I'm sitting there. Like, she doesn't mind it, but if she's sitting there, like if we're sitting there coloring or whatever and she has a pile of stuff, she'll be like, you don't want to fussy cut all this for me, do you? And I'm like, sure. So I sit there and fussy cut all of the stuff that she has pre-colored as well. This one piece is like killing me. There we go. Now, this image does really mess with my psyche, though, because there's a lot of little white spaces in here, and one of my pet peeves is white spaces, and there's just no way you could cut all of them out because they're too small. So I don't know why fussy cutting is soothing to me, but I do rather enjoy it. Oops. Drop my little moose. I do usually have to move my ring because look at what happens to my finger. Well, send me all your stuff, Joy. I'll sit here and fussy cut it for you. Like I said, I really don't know why it's so soothing to me, but I think it's because I really have to focus. Oh, the neighbors are coming outside with their dog. Archie. Hey. No. Sometimes you need to be ambidextrous to fussy cut. Like, those were some left-handed cuts there. What's hard for me is I generally, like, if I was fussy cutting while not on camera, I would have it right here. And you guys can't see that. So, the hardest part for me about fussy cutting on camera is that I have to hold it so far away from my body and not bend over and put my big ol' head in the camera shot. There's definitely a difference to crafting on video as to crafting in real life. Just like coloring, I would normally be leaning across my desk to color. So just how people say I'm super weird for fussy cutting, I'm also one of those people. But she is watching. Which is also weird for some people, is I love wrapping gifts. So when I used to work at the sheriff's department, I would have all of the deputies bring in their gifts from the big man. And they would all chip in for wrapping paper, and I would buy a different wrapping paper so that they could take their gifts home to give to their kiddos without them ever, seeing, and it used a different wrapping paper too. So super duper fun. But I would spend pretty much an entire shift wrapping gifts, a 12-hour shift. So I'm just writing the year in here with a gel pen because I think it's cute. So I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to put this up here. Now, quick, somebody tell me, when does January start? I'm also going to write the year right here with the gel pen. I should probably zoom back out. Sunday? Awesome. You knew that right off the top of your head, Elizabeth? Were you just filling out your planner as well? Okay. Oh, you checked your calendar? You just happen to have it sitting right there? All right, so it's very convenient that it starts right here. I'm going to grab a pen. What pen do I want? I kind of want this pink one. This is an Erin Condren pen. I have a ton of planner pens. So, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna number this. Is it fun to watch somebody write? You can see my head sticking into the into the frame. Sorry. I have to stop myself. I almost wrote 32. Don't want to do that. Okay, so now we're going to start gluing all this stuff down. So I'm going to start with this one because I know exactly where I want it to go. So again, I'm going to grab my glue. Going to glue it down to what I perceive to be the middle. I'm going to use my espresso. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this one goes on first because this one's going to overlap this. Just want to put a slight border around it. Same thing for this one. Nice even border. Just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to put on my calendar page. I'm going to put it right here in the middle because after all, it is the focus. Okay. Again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I mean, I do have my T-square, so I can make sure this is where I want it to be. Okay. Then I'm gonna put this up here, and I think I'm gonna kind of do that with it. What do you think? You like? I like. Okay, now our cute little moose. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on these end lights here so that they glue down. His antlers, the little plug, his hooves. Okay, and then once I put him down, he's for sure there. So I'm gonna grab my tweezers so that I don't have my big fat fingers in the way. And by putting him on white backed paper, it hides the little white spots there. Perfect. Okay. Now I can decide if I want one of these little bows. Kind of want to put it right there. I think it's cute there. And there you have it. Yes to bows. Always yes to bows. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up a little bit so I can put the bow on with the glue gun. I might even, wait a minute, grab some of these. Because it's all about adding extra bling, right? So I think I'm going to use these sparkly ones. Okay. Blings. It's important to have blings, right? These particular blings are from the Ton. I love their blings. There we go. Okay. And now, let's see if my hot glue gun is hot enough. Yep. I love this glue gun. It heats up so quickly. Little bow at the corner. And there we go. There's our page. Welcome to 2023, my friends. Crazy, huh? Crazy to even think about. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that this inspires you to use some of your stamps on scrapbook pages. I think it's a super fun way to incorporate stamping and scrapbooking together. And I really hope that inspires you. I hope that it makes you want to go out and do some crafty stuff. So anyways, I know I can't believe it either. It's crazy to me. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it, and I will see you again tomorrow. Toodles!